the Gaza. I'm not out with Gaza in Israel now. I go rejoice all tonight and tomorrow night and the next night and the next night. Because them world boss get off of the case. Them quash it. Meaning say them done with it. And a whole heap of people feel good. And a whole heap of people vex. But whether you feel good or vex, that now going to change what take place right now. So I better just cool down your temper. Just cool down your temper. You know, say, don't raise up your blood pressure. Because it now going to change the difference. It now going to make no difference.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all are doing good. Hope you all are doing great. So your boy here come across this one wherein the main headline is Muta speaking of Vybz Kartel freedom plus a lot more. You will be hearing from Dr. Umar Johnson. So guys, this one is gonna be really a warm and interesting one. So you wanna stay tuned and don't forget I'm here on the Black Unity program. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you're new. With that being said, let's go ahead and hear what Muta got to say in this one. My people, let's walk.
Never little thing though with Assad Buchanan, the liar that represent one of the liar them that represent Vybz Kartel. Assad, me never know you into God ring and Obia Rasta. Trying over the case don't make no sense. Because where you go get jury or jurors for sitting in a case where everybody know about. With somebody in a Jamaica don't know about that case there. Can these jurors be impartial? I don't think so. It's like them go and say him guilty still, or totally say him not guilty at all. But it now go based off of evidence. Because when them get different evidence from, will it a complication? As far as me can look on it, them better prepare stadium. Them better prepare stadium. God trust me. Anybody will put on that show there in a stadium can relax for the rest of his life. And Vybz Kartel, even though him not go relax, but him go want enough money and pinpoint it pan all the time when him in a jail. I think him there for nearly 10 years. So can you imagine him multiply the 10 years by how much money him could have did get if him did out and pin it pan a stadium show. What a thing. What a thing. So we're going to see what happen in the next couple of months. See if him will come out totally free. Or them will go laga it and wait till see what will happen with the appeal. Can go back to court. I know them court cases can take another year or two. So that is the big thing we are going on now. And a whole heap of people feel good. And a whole heap of people vex. But whether you feel good or vex, that now going to change what take place right now. So I better just cool down your temper. Just cool down your temper. You know, say, don't raise up your blood pressure. Because it now going to change the difference. It now going to make no difference. Never little thing though with Assad Buchanan, the liar that represent one of the liar them that represent Vybz Kartel. Assad, me never know you into God ring and Obia Rasta. Eh? Big liar like you talk about God ring and Obia and all them someday. What kind of madness is that? I tell the people them in St. Thomas, but get ready, prepare themselves. Really? Really, I thought, a youth like you, and you talk about my parish, even though I'm not born there, but me understand we go on over the years, and we understand how people view it, but if a youth are come and tell the people them in St. Thomas about must prepare themselves and them guard ring, and I hope I'm a put for the people them, And that's it there. I think you use your intelligence and your intellect and evidence and all them things there. If you go through where you go through, if you go to England, go sit down with the Supreme Court. I never know, say, around the corner, how be a business you portray upon the people, them Rasta. Behave yourself, man. Behave yourself, brethren. We never bring you up for that. I say, we come and know your father. Never bring you up for that, Rasta. A joke business. A joke business, trust me. So the people, them, in the Gaza, I'm not out of Gaza in Israel, I'm going to rejoice all tonight and tomorrow night and the next night and the next night. Because them world boss get off of the case. Them quash it. Meaning say, them done with it. So the appeal court now have to go work it out and see where them can come out with. Serious thing, after nearly 10 years. 10 years in a prison with all them sickness there. But, say, the sickness can get better in a 1 week. If you just hear say him get bail, that sickness said disappear. We going to come forward. This is the stepping razor. Yes, we're there with you. So, we see the American government is planning to ban TikTok in America. Let me say over 170 million people use TikTok daily in America. And the reason they give is that it is a security risk to have TikTok in America when it's the Chinese directing TikTok, because them can use TikTok to get leverage over America as it relates to whatsoever them are hide. So there is a thing now, I don't know if it got through yet, but the last time I saw what was happening in the court, them did I say, them go ban TikTok. As you know, a whole heap of young people vex about that, because them still want to watch where them want to watch, and them not care about if it pose a threat to them security on a bigger level. We don't know how that will affect Jamaica. We don't know if the TikTok in America and not having access to TikTok in America will have effect in Jamaica. It would be nice if, I don't know, if the AT brethren, IT them call them, could have said something about it, because I really like know if it's going to have a repercussion in a Jamaica. I don't know who Shamara can talk to the Irie FM to explain to me the implication of TikTok being banned in America and what will happen in Jamaica. Will it create a ripple effect? Because we know say other countries have banned TikTok. Yeah, other countries ban it. And personally, I don't care a hell if they want to ban it. For those of you who have been listening since the program started, you mentioned the Vybz Kartel case, but we also mentioned the lawyer, Isaac Buchanan, where Isaac Buchanan makes some reason where I can't fathom it, because as a lawyer, as a man who is into law and all these things, why am I talking about gathering and St. Thomas people, they must hold on there and all the way there. We want to play the tape with him and say what him say. So, make the tape roll.
Those of you in St. Thomas, you know what to do. Just send up to prayer and yard ring, you know. So, all my peoples in St. Thomas, y'all know what it is. It's that time, so I'm going to cut the live. Live did nice, you know, but y'all join me later tonight. So if you're in Jamaica, 5.
The man I talk about prayers and gathering. I don't know how prayers and gathering come together. That's strange, man. Play it again, play it again, play it again.
Land in 9 Mile St. Anne was...
Can play it again?
Those of you in St. Thomas, you know what to do. Just send up to prayer and yard ring, you know. So, all my peoples in St. Thomas, y'all know what it is. It's that time, so I'm going to cut the live. Live did nice, you know, but y'all join me later tonight. So if you're in Jamaica, 5.
Okay, so I might ask the people in St. Thomas to do whatsoever them do. the gathering thing kind of show me off, no brethren. Really, the gathering show me off. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But, well, I know what you're talking about, but the idea of you as a liar who just, well, would I say, win a case. If I tell the people in St. Thomas, say, gather up on yourself, prayers and gathering. Anyway, that's how it goes. Born to be free, you know, news time.
Some members of the legal team representing dancehall entertainer Adija Vybz Kartel Palmer and his 3 co-accused will be making bail applications for their clients in short order. This following a ruling by the UK-based Privy Council that the murder convictions of Kartel, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John be quashed on the grounds of juror misconduct. The 4 men were convicted of the murder of Clive Lizard Williams on March 13, 2014, 10 years ago. However,
Black people, love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white folks.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system.
Yeah.
Of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live.
True.
White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Whose schools our kids go to? Theirs.
True.
Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we was when slavery ended 157 years ago. And black people got to be careful about raising the importance of other people's issues to our own. Because by doing that, you reduce the quality of your own fight.
Right.
Because nobody else has been through what you've been through here. Everybody in America showed up as an immigrant. We're the only people who showed up as imports. Why would you dare make the gay struggle equal? Why would you dare make the Arab or Asian struggle equal? Ridiculous. When those Asian women were murdered in Atlanta, which was a tragedy, and I didn't have a problem with the president making a law against it. But my problem was you had about 8 to a dozen Asian women get murdered in one night.
And it was
As a result of one night.
Yep.
One night. The president and vice president flew down to Atlanta and met with the Asian community. He passed an executive order almost overnight. A congressional bill came, anti-Asian hate, unanimously passed. Almost overnight. My issue with that, one Asian tragedy, they get a personal meeting with the president and vice president. They get an executive order. They get a federal law that makes it illegal to even use a racial slur. We've been here 400 years. You ain't never flew down and met with us face to face after no tragedy. When that damn devil walked into that supermarket in Buffalo, New York and murdered those Africans, when Dylan Roof walked into that church in Charleston, South Carolina, murdered those Africans, we didn't even get a face-to-face meeting from the president of the United States, who was black at the time, Barack Obama. But this is what you do for the Asians? And then you sign an executive order? And then you sign an anti-Asian hate? Where's the anti-black hate?
I don't want to sound dumb, but, you know, they would have to deal with their people. Who do we have that would support us?
I agree with you. The reason they responded to the Asians the way that they did is
they got
because
somebody
the
to call
Asians-
home.
Absolutely. You have China, you have Japan,
Who do black
you have
Americans have to
countries
call?
who have political power
Yes.
that America has relationships with that they can't afford to lose.
Exactly.
And you will have to answer. There will be political, economic consequences for letting our people get mistreated in your land. We don't have that. And the reason we don't have that is because we have not helped to build a single African state into the power base we need her to be so she can speak out for us. We have used our money to empower
Understandable.
all these nationalities and use almost none of it to empower Africa, the very continent we need to do what you just said, be strong enough to be a diplomatic voice for American Africa.
But this is why I asked you before which one is more important to fix first. Because if we had that power behind us, wouldn't it be easier for us to make moves over here? You know what I mean?
If we had that power in Africa, absolutely. But we're not building the power, though. In other words, we should be in Africa right now. I'm sending you to Ghana. I'm sending you to Nigeria. I'm sending you to Namibia. I'm going to go to Ethiopia. We're going to sit down with the president. Listen, we are a $2 trillion people.
Yeah.
We need you to be able to speak up for us.
Would it be hard to get dual citizenship?
What are the economic slave chains that America has around your economy? What are the economic slave chains America has around your economy? And what could we do with our education and income to weaken those chains so one day they can fall? Africa would love to do business with us instead of the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund or the French government or the Belgian government or the German government. They would rather do the business with us. But the problem with black folks, we are comfortable and content being American slaves. We're not looking at the global ramifications of our irresponsible behavior. We're not looking at the global needs of our people. We are content with this America the way that it is. We are comfortable being treated like 21st century slaves. Because if we were not, with the resources we waste every day, we would be going crazy. Go down your social media feed. Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Go down your YouTube. Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Right. Go through your Twitter.
True.
Go in. If you did not know how racist America was, and you went to Black Twitter, Black Instagram, Black TikTok, Black
Nothing
YouTube,
important there.
could you tell?
No.
Don't it look like we live in the best times of our lives?
Absolutely.
Because Black people are like overgrown children. Slavery arrested our psychopolitical development. Slavery arrested our psychopolitical development. The slave system turned us into eternal children in this country. What do children do? They spend their money on the things that they like.
Right.
And they beg their parents for the things that they need. Is that not Black America? $2 billion on Air Jordans every year.
You're right.
$4 billion on liquor, $30 billion on hair and beauty, nearly $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, multiple billion on video games, multiple million on children's cologne. Children's cologne. Check this out. We spent
I didn't
about
even know they had that. Like,
we spent about $21 million on children's cologne a year.
wow.
What the fuck is children cologne?
You know, baby Polo, baby Versace.
Oh,
They got children's
okay.
cologne. But half the Black boys in America in 4th grade can't read on their grade level.
That's a fact.
Half the Black boys in America in 8th grade can't read on their grade level. But we spending $21 million on cologne. I don't excuse nothing another race does to my people. Because as a human being, you should be able to practice decency, whether you're dealing with a billionaire or somebody who's dead, broken, homeless on the street. You understand me?
Definitely.
But we have to look in the mirror too and look at how we make it easy for people to disrespect us. Because how does a people in your condition have the time to engage in this type of tomfoolery over here? Do you feel me?
Yeah.
If I'm Chinese looking at Black America, how do I make sense out of this?
Right.
Y'all can't care about yourselves because as much as you talk about reparations and as much as you talk about the next presidential election, look at the money you waste. Imagine a Korean walk into a Black community meeting on reparations, a Korean, and stand up and say, can I ask y'all a question? Why y'all in here arguing over reparations when y'all done turned my people into a $1 trillion nation? I make $30 billion off y'all people a year. $30 billion a year. How much have we give the Koreans over the past 30 years? What's 30 billion times 30 years? And you talking about reparations? You see that? But Black people are in denial about our self-hate. I tell Black women all the time, if you would just stop hating the way God made you, you can take your $30 billion a year and build an independent school for every Black girl out here. You could stop child sex trafficking. Black women could wipe out child sex trafficking for Black girls by taking some of that $30 billion on here. But guess what? How I look is way more important than the condition of my people. Black men, same thing. We could take the $4 billion on liquor, the $2 billion on Air Jordans, the multiple billion we spend on vacations, all the money we spend on these damn non-Black women. We could take that money and build Black schools for Black boys all over the
clubs.
But I want to know, we can't, I don't want to say we can't change that, but that's we're surrounded by it. It's like, every block has a liquor store. Every block has sneaker store.
That don't mean you have to partake.
No, I agree with that 100%.
Where
but
is the discipline?
It's so hard for the people that don't know no better.
Discipline.
But
we do know better. We do. Even the most politically uneducated Black person knows there's something better I could be doing with this money. Do you feel me?
I agree.
We are comfortable in our oppression. And the reason we're comfortable in it is the white man has allowed us enough of his useless amusements to content us with our oppression. We got the cell phone, social media, NBA playoffs. We have enough. See, Black poverty ain't the same as African poverty. It ain't the same as Caribbean African poverty. It ain't the same as Brazilian African poverty. Our poverty is damn near middle to upper class in most other places in the world.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? And so because we don't have it as bad as other people, we think we winning when we losing. We think we winning when we losing.
Is that why, when Africans or the Caribbeans come over here and they be like, yo, you know what? Y'all got it easy. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all just being lazy.
Compared to what they come from.
Right, yeah.
And when they come, they take advantage of whatever they can do. So they'll work at the taxi, they'll work at the airport security, right? And they'll save that money and they will send it back home. Many of them come over there to hustle and to send the money back home, and I don't have no problem with them doing that. You understand? But what I do need the African immigrant brother and sister to understand, America will give you opportunity that she will never give me because you are not a threat. You can be 100%. Deported whenever they feel like it.
True.
You can be stripped of your American citizenship or your green card whenever they feel like it. They can strip me of my citizenship, but where do they send me? Nowhere. We are the only people that cannot be deported. And that's why America can't stand us, even though she's the reason she can't get rid of us.
So I know you said earlier that you don't want to beg anybody to be a part of the movement, basically.
Yes,
right?
Or the race.
Right. So, but it just seems like a lot of people are ignorant to what's going on here. So it wouldn't be begging. I just think they need to be educated. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I think they're ignoring it.
I don't disagree totally. You have Negroes and you have coons.
Okay.
The Negro is completely ignorant. He would respond to what you just suggested. Take a Negro who think white people are everything. White women are beautiful. White people are more intelligent. Black people are lazy. He's a Negro. He's been miseducated. You educate him, you can bring him back into the revolution, right?
Right.
He was just a Negro. He didn't know.
Right.
But then you got the coon. The coon knows that the white man ain't better. The coon knows that Black people are the original people. But he's paid and financed to intentionally mislead his people. The Negro, I can work with because I can educate him out of his situation.
Right.
The coon is dangerous. The coon has stabbed me in my back the minute I turned my back. And that's why many of our African leaders from around the world have been betrayed by members of their inner circle. Patrice Lumumba, murdered by a friend. Thomas Sankara, murdered by a stepbrother. Malcolm X, murdered by people he trusted. Dr. King, set up by people he trusted. When you look at the Black struggle globally, because you got to look at all of our heroes and sheroes, not just the ones here. Many of them were set up and sabotaged by people they grew up with and who they trusted. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown in Ghana with the assistance of his college roommate at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania.
Like
the State Department found his roommate, sent him to Ghana to help overthrow his roommate, who was the first democratically elected president in Africa post-colonization.
That's like the Fred Hampton story I seen recently. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, that informant wasn't a friend of Fred Hampton, but to your point, he weaved his way into his trust, sold him out, gave the FBI a drawing of Fred Hampton's apartment, drugged his Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you get in this movement for Black liberation, you don't have no friends.
I have a quick question for you that may be personal. Do you feel like, since you're a big impact to the Black community, that you're in danger?
I'd say this. I get death threats on a regular basis. I know the FBI and CIA tap my phone. They've been doing it since my first trip to Africa, 2005. There's about 6 people who come around me on a regular basis who I'm pretty certain are paid agents. Some of the women who have expressed interest in me over the past 6 months, I definitely believe that they are paid agents. But I'm going to say this to you. When I look at Malcolm and Martin, and I listen to their friends who survived them, they often talk about how those 2 great Black leaders, 2 of my heroes, got to a point in their life where they were so spiritually and emotionally exhausted from the threat of death that they felt they secretly wished for it to come to get it over with.
Because like always looking over your shoulder kind of situation.
They got tired of it.
Right.
Dr. King got tired of it. Malcolm got tired of it. And I think they asked the Lord, just make sure when they hit me, they don't hit my daughter and children, my wife and children. You feel me? I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm that fatigued from the threat that it takes away my commitment to the struggle. Now, they never lost their commitment to the struggle. But they basically died before they died, if you understand what I'm saying. Because once you psychologically exhausted with the threat of death, there's nothing else to live for. I'm still struggling, but I'm not enjoying my life. My wife can't really enjoy me. My kids can't really enjoy me because my mind has become beaten down with the prospect of death. Remember, they bombed Dr. King house twice. They bombed Malcolm house the day before a week before he died, right? I don't ever want to get like that. So I discipline myself. I practice traditional African spirituality. I try to stay as rooted as possible. I need to do a better job, but that's my walk. The biggest thing that insulates me, though, is I believe I was born to do what I did, what I'm doing. I don't believe I was born to be nothing else but what I am right now. And because I believe that I'm on a God-given mission, and because I believe that the ancestors are helping me as much as possible to achieve the goals that I have in mind for my people, which is ultimately liberation for all African folks, if I die in the work, it was my destiny. And if I don't, it wasn't. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm content with whatever happens. But my comfort and peace of mind comes from knowing that this is the destiny I negotiated with God in heaven before I incarnated. So it don't really bother me.
So let me ask you this question, right? Just to go back to the dating outside your race. You once said that dating interracially is a form of self-hatred.
Absolutely.
Why do you believe that?
Absolutely. Because why do you want to stare in the face of a member of the people who have committed the greatest human atrocities against your people? These are the people.
Is that only specifically to white people, or do you mean if they date an Asian woman or Indian woman? Is that still the same?
Well, I got 2 answers. If we're dealing with white people, why would you want one of them after what they've done to us and continue to do? Because your white girlfriend's still a racist. She still doesn't value Black life. You understand? That white man Serena Williams is married to, he don't value Black life. You understand? That white woman that took $1 billion from Tiger Woods. She don't value Black life, right? I could give you countless examples of people I've met in therapy who were called the N-word by white husbands and white wives. You understand me? White people who have sex with you, didn't the slave master sleep with our mothers and grandmothers? So just because they land in the bed with you, what makes you think that they shed their racism? They don't. White people are racist. All white people are racist. There's no exceptions. They may not all be bigots, but they're all racist. Yeah. They all want their people to dominate unfairly the resources, the opportunities, and the privileges of this society. So every white person.
What about the people that just say love is love, right?
Who believes love is love?
I mean, that's most people's answer.
That might be most black people. Love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white folks.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live.
True.
White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Whose schools our kids go to? Theirs.
True.
Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us for shit. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we was when slavery ended 157 years ago.
So,
in my opinion, if you talk to an integrationist, and say, how far have we come since slavery? Oh, we've come very far. We got a black president. Now we got a black vice president. We got a black Supreme Court justice. We got about 10 black billionaires. We got about 100 black millionaires.
Ain't shit changing.
Because their definition of progress is based exclusively on superficial assets. Are you following me? Now that's the integrationist. Now you come to me, the nationalist, the Pan-African nationalist. How much progress have we made since slavery? Zero. But Dr. Umar, how can you say that? Black people got master's degrees, doctorate degrees, houses in white neighborhoods. We own our own businesses. We got millionaires. We got tech companies. Here's my question. To what extent are we now in a better position to protect and dictate the lives of our children today than we was when slavery ended? Let me ask it another way. When slavery ended, we owned 1/2% of all the wealth in America. Guess how much we own now?
The same.
1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in America. What the fuck has changed? Nothing at all but the appearance of things.
Right.
The only thing they did when they ended slavery is change the way it looked. They traded in slavery. Before the 13th Amendment, we were owned by individuals. We was the property of individual slaveholders. After the 13th Amendment, we became property of the government itself. We are slaves of the state.
So
still not free.
Let me ask you a question, because
in other words, if you walk out here right now and a police officer pulls you over and takes your life, God forbid, unjustifiably, how was that any better than you being on the plantation picking cotton and the overseer just decides to get off his horse and blow your damn brains out? 157 years apart. Was there any difference in the power dynamic?
Hell no.
Nothing at all.
You're right.
We are exactly where we were.
There's no ramifications.
Power is the measuring stick, y'all. Not education, not income, not billionaires and millionaires. How many black people on TV, Obamas and Kamalas? That's irrelevant. How much power do we have to force white people to leave us the hell alone? And do we have any more now than we had in 1865?
I don't see it.
Moving.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask a question real quick, because a lot of people say that Obama got in office and he did nothing for black people. Do you think he had the power to do anything when he was president?
I want to ask a question before that question. Do I think he had the power?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Major changes, he didn't have the power.
Right.
Minor changes, he did. For example, Barack Obama could have got us more black teachers. Barack Obama could have did something about the special education exploitation of our children. He could have done something about the suspensions and expulsions. He could have fought for better schools and more black educators, because everybody agrees that the schools are a problem. Do you understand? Everybody agrees that the schools. Obama didn't do nothing about that. You follow me? He could have done something about black homelessness. He didn't. Now, for the black middle class, he threw them a couple bones and allowed them to buy a house and that kind of shit, if you consider that progress, right?
Right.
But overall, did he systemically change anything for black people? Not at all. But did he systemically change anything for gay people? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But don't you think it's easier for one to do that because of the power that they possess? Because of, you know what I mean, there's white people, Asian people that's in that community.
Okay, possibly. But here's my question for you then. Let's say Obama had no power to change nothing. Let's just say that. Then why would you vote for him for your presidency?
I was ignorant
Right.
to how that whole system worked. When I first voted, I just turned 18. You know what I mean? So as I'm learning more, I realized that it goes through a vote and you need certain seats, people in these seats to push bills through. He didn't have that. Even Biden now, where we voted in these seats, he's still not doing nothing for black people.
But you know what the difference is? Presidents have executive privilege. Barack Obama could have signed executive orders to do things for black people that he did not do. Remember, Biden gave the Asians an executive order before Congress gave them a law. He gave the Native Americans an executive order before Congress gave them the law. You follow what I'm saying? Donald Trump gave the Hispanics, the Latinos, an executive order before. You understand? Obama could have used the power of his pen. And here's my one thing against Barack Obama. My one thing. You're right. I'm not going to slight him for not changing anything. I'm going to slight him for not even trying. Do you see the difference?
Definitely.
You the president of student government at college. You didn't get nothing done. But guess what, brother? I salute you because I saw you fight for me. You feel me? You didn't get nothing done, but I saw you fight for me. Every time I turn on the television, Barack Obama talking about homosexuals. Like they the only people in the country. That's all he talked about. Middle-class white people, homosexuals, women, and immigrants. That's all he cared about. Black people got no attention from him, but that's why the white man put him in there. When Obama was running for office, I'm one of the only scholars of public stature that said when he's done, we're going to be worse off than we was before he got in there. You go to I did a lecture at Black and Nobel Bookstore in Philadelphia. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. People still watching now. They say, Dr. Umar, everything you said in the Obama, and this is why he was running, everything you said about him, it has all come to pass. Why? I'm not no genius, but what I do know is every time we get elected officials, the condition of black people gets worse. It never gets better. Rarely do we do better when somebody black gets elected.
You don't think he was personally hand-selected, especially after the whole Bush situation?
They selected Barack Obama to make make the black community in America safe for homosexuality, and they needed him internationally win back Africa's support because America needs Africa's resources. So he was a stooge and a puppet. He knows it, but he did it willingly. You know, I'm sure he has trouble sleeping at night sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But my point, again, if he has no power, and if you claim your vote, see, both things can't be true. Either your vote is important, or Obama should have never been elected because he ain't got the power to do nothing. You see that? You can't have a vote. You can't say my vote means everything to me, but I'm going to use it on a man who can't do anything for me. It can't be both ways. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't blame Barack Obama. To his credit, he never said he would do nothing for black people. Do you understand me?
Face value.
When Jesse Jackson ran for president, 84, 88, he said he would do something for black people. When Al Sharpton ran, he said he would do something for black people. When Barack Obama ran, he made sure he didn't mention black people. Even in his presidential address, he wouldn't even mention Dr. King by name. He just said a preacher from Georgia. He wouldn't even say his name. Obama stayed as far away from black issues as possible. So to his credit, he didn't lie to us. We projected onto him this messianic complex that's failed us. Because guess what? You know what? Do you think Joe Biden would have ignored black people if we didn't let Obama do it for 8 years? Do you think Donald Trump would have ignored black people if we didn't let Obama do it for 4 years, for 8 years? You will never get another president's attention anymore. Because the whole world watched black America catch hell and give Barack Obama a pass for 8 years. The worst thing we could have ever done was publicly say it was okay.
How do we bring
for him
value
to not do nothing and just be black?
How do we bring value back into our vote?
Yeah,
You have to organize it along racial lines.
I thought it was disrespectful.
Get out the Democratic Party.
When Joe Biden, when he was asked by Charlemagne,
Yeah.
why should black people vote for you? And he's just like, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Like that wasn't an answer. He just was like, yo.
It was disrespectful, but you know why? And he didn't get no flack from it.
He didn't.
But you know why he was comfortable enough to say that? Because the Democratic Party has owned the black vote since 1933.
That's correct.
This is 2023. So in another 9 years, we would have voted Democrat for a century. What have the Democrats done so great that we owe them our vote for 100 years, brothers? 100 years. 100 years.
Great question.
You see that? Get out to your question. Get out the Democratic Party. Get out the Republican Party. Black people need to become independents, and we need to run and finance our own independent candidates. So when you become mayor of New York, when you become governor of New York, when you become a city council or state rep, you're going to do whatever the black community tells you to do because you don't owe nobody nothing. You didn't take no money from the Rockefellers. You ain't take no money from Chase Manhattan. See that? You ain't take no money from Morgan Stanley. You ain't take no money from Walmart. You ain't take no money from Hyundai. You ain't take the money from McDonald's. You are a free candidate. The problem with our elected officials is 99% of them show up in office already enslaved by the dollar of another man.
So how can...
We up there celebrating, oh, he's the new mayor of New York City, like the guy y'all got now? Ain't he a former police officer?
Yeah.
What we vote for him for? He's a damn cop. No disrespect to him. He might be a nice guy. But you fraternal order of police?
His color is blue.
So thank you. Thank you. So what we vote for him for? Because black people love to be oppressed.
How can an independent party win them? Because if...
You don't need to win. In fact, you don't even need the party. You just need an independent political union. In other words, let's say we're a numerical minority, right?
Right.
We could run an independent. We never going to win because whites got more votes than us and Latinos now got more votes than us, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to win. We're going to leverage our votes. We're going to have a political town hall meeting with all the major candidates. Republican Party, Democratic Party, Libertarian, Green Party, right? You say, hey, this is New York City. We got 4 million black votes. And we putting them all in one place. We are not splitting. Do not divide the black vote. Put it together. We're going to ask y'all some questions. After y'all leave, we're going to talk about y'all behind y'all back. We're going to have a big community town hall debate. But when we walk out of here, we agree that majority rules.
Right.
And whichever one of y'all we vote for, that's who's going to get the votes. And if you do not deliver on what you promised, very next election, you're gone. They're going to have to deliver. Can they survive without your 4 million votes? Hell no. Hell no.
That's why they said save us for the end and start
absolutely
shit to make us
Listen,
happy.
Here's what y'all need to understand. Nobody wants an organized black vote. Let me say that again. No black governor candidate wants an organized black vote. No black U.S. Senate candidate. No black U.S. rep. No state rep, state senator, city council. Nobody, black or white, in politics wants an organized black vote. You want to know why? Because you now got the power to hold them accountable. If we was organized, your mayor would have to go to war with the police department on our behalf. He wouldn't have a choice, or he's going to be unseated. Do you understand me? You think he wants y'all to be organized? These handkerchief head-ass black politicians who don't fight for us and these governmental systems, do you really think they want your vote to be organized? You will make them turn their slave master into an enemy.
Do you think that's why they give women and trans people so much leverage when it comes to like separating them from an actual like black man or the black family?
Yes. I do think they want the black female vote because she's the biggest constituency in our community, right? Brothers don't vote, brothers in jail, brothers know the vote ain't gonna mean shit until we organize it. So yes, they would rather have a black female vote than a black community vote, hands down, because black women vote more than black men.
That's a fact.
And that's why we need our sisters to come back into the fold and say, you know what? We're not voting as women. We voting as black people. And we voting with our men. Do you know how powerful that would be?
Right.
If black men and black women stop the dumb shit on social media and say we're going to fight because we got a common enemy, white supremacy, and we're going to put our votes behind a candidate who offers to do the most for us, that would be revolutionary.
Definitely.
So speaking of that, you know, I've seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
So, obviously, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So,
That's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man. A black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get. I have 2 daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest will be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with with white women.
With all women. You should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere else.
In Africa.
Absolutely.
So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like if you feel
I tell sisters all the time, go to Africa. So I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with her sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married,
I'll take sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also tell black women, if
married,
you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Why the fuck is it tolerated? It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us, though. Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course she's going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. But guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be more
If we was loving
selective.
our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
You're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
Wow.
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, The first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right, that still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources, and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
If you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you have the man responsible. Because we having a conversation
as men.
Yeah,
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
Right.
But as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No, as men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only, that is where we should be focused on.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only up to her.
If you don't put a seed in her, nothing else happens. And no woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean,
all right. So did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So how, if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make. Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay.
It's an argument that says, I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right? I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative.
That's not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I work too hard in my life. I'm gonna go back to
what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And, she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
I worked too hard in my life.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
But Dr. Umar,
men supposed to make raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean, he's a great father.
I ain't talking about that's individual. That's good, but that's individualism. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now? Nothing.
We're being
but talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take
it. It's not going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more. Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys, and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to.
You still going back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she's had to raise the kids alone. Not one woman,
so
brother.
You mean to tell me,
a whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No.
That's what I have to look forward to?
But I'm telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children. And when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No, I
mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking them to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with them every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and having to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be-all, end-all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking nothing back from that. You have yet to tell me something that we've done systemically to combat that. Because you keep saying me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty
women and men. Women and men as a group in the community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see? So you say she had a couple kids already because she met men. She probably thought they was good, some of them. They left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, brother.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're making assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
So you say.
No,
come on, man. Come on.
Hold a woman accountable.
So you say.
Listen, like I said, I feel like as a black man.
We don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside their race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
Y'all 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that, if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
Black women do not, no, you're wrong.
That's percentages of
you're wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm not saying that. But the percentages ain't that far off. That's what I'm saying.
Black women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates. But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing interracially.
Black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay. But what
that has no value?
It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house, but I know it's not enough of us to go around.
Yeah.
We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. And we're complaining about the women.
I argue with women
who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
All right.
That's wimp-ass, weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we could be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
Not enough.
I know what I'm doing about it. I'm building a school for it, 2 of them. But systemically as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing. Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men doing about that? See, the Pookie and Ray Ray you kept talking about? We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize us for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
you're dealing with individualism again. I can't deal with that.
But that's part of choices.
No, it's not. We have to deal with this systemically. He brought up a question earlier, and he said, "Did we make these problems on our own, or was there some systemics involved?" It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally Divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't said shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you. And she's going to scapegoat you. And we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Listen,
I don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah. But when we're going to hold the system accountable as well.
That's fair.
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too. Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys.
How would you suggest that black men take on the role of leadership?
Especially when there's an attack on black masculinity.
Without women willing to listen to us. You get what I'm saying? How do we prove our worth or take back the leadership
care of the boys.
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys. And you'll get her respect back. Give them jobs, give them education, give them training, give them your time. They not getting none of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. And then we're going to get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous.
Like I said,
create the product and get mad for her for ending up consuming the product.
She could consume whatever she wants. I'm just saying, as a black man,
it's not about her consuming whatever she wants, brother. Because if we're trying to fix the black community, everybody and everything matters. It's not individual. You're an individualist. You're not thinking as a community. Your whole analysis is based on me and her. Step out of that shit. This is systems at play. You understand?
Right.
Multiple black men screwed up. Multiple black women screwed up. You understand me? Look at the systemic nature and say, what system do we need to create as black men to prevent the Pookie and Ray Ray from coming into existence?
Or I, as a black man, can just look for a woman that is healed, that is leading in her femininity, that doesn't have a child by another woman.
But that doesn't solve community problems. We're talking about community solutions. That's individualism.
That's fair. Let me get to this last topic before we get up out of here. I do want to talk about your school because this is a great transition. You know, how difficult was it to build your school? And obviously you had the detractors and the haters saying that the school didn't exist, or, you know, you were scamming people. So what was your biggest, I would say, disadvantage or hardship about going about building the school?
First of all, this water was good and it better not be FBI water. Bilal, take all their pictures. Okay. Yeah. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. First thing I want to say to your listeners is, please donate to the Academy.
Indeed.
Get on your Cash App, $FDMG School. Get on your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. You can mail, check, or money order in to FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. You can get that information on my website, drumarjohnson.com. You can also text message me for that. And for my parents out there who are having issues with your children, learning disabilities, autisms, ADHDs, IEPs, 504s, white teacher racism, psychological evaluations, pre-referral intervention plans, behavior intervention plans, any issues you're having with your children, education and mental health, you can reach out to me. 215-989-9858. That's 215-989-9858. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. The idea had been with me since I was a psychologist with the School District of Philadelphia. The idea began to take form in 2014 when an associate of mine gave me a phone call and told me that the historic HBCU St. Paul's College was for sale in Lawrenceville, Virginia. He said they only want $2 million. I said, a whole HBCU for $2 million? 118 acres. I went down there, told them I need this school for our boys. The white people at Motley's auction in Richmond, Virginia. And they said, if you can get us $500,000 in about a month, we might could work with you. So we started a fundraiser. As soon as we started the fundraiser, my detractors attacked it. They called Motley, tried to disrupt the sale. In 2015, a year later, we started a GoFundMe. They sabotaged the GoFundMe, said I was spending the money on my own. So they stopped the GoFundMe, even though I supplied GoFundMe with all the account statements and gave them permission to speak to the branch manager to verify the information. GoFundMe didn't even check it out because they wanted to shut me down.
God
They
damn.
didn't want to support a Black initiative. So then we learned in 2017, I want to say, 16, that a Chinese corporation bought the St. Paul's College. I couldn't believe it. That
In the
Black
process
people,
of you doing it.
yeah. I couldn't believe that Black people let Chinese people buy a historically Black college built by our ancestors coming out of slavery by Father Russell, who was friends to both Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver. Chinese own it now. So once they bought the school, I said, okay, Black folks are donating. We've always got a lot of donations. They're just low amounts. Quantity versus quality, right?
Yeah.
The quantity low. Or should I say the quality of the donation low, but the quantity vast.
Yes. Okay, get you.
So, a lot of 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s, but if you're trying to buy an institution, that ain't quite enough.
Right.
Got you.
Right? So anyway, we said we're just going to get us a day school. So I used up all my frequent flyer miles flying all over America. I thought the school was going to be in Detroit because Detroit had a couple Catholic schools in great shape that we could afford. There was around the $300,000 mark. I said, we're going to end up in Detroit. Blackest city, I'm ready for Detroit. Roman Catholic Church wouldn't sell them to me. Then we had a school in Philly. Roman Catholic Church wouldn't sell it to me. Then we was going to lease a school in money earning Mount Vernon, New York. Clean Catholic school. White man said, I got to call Rome. I said, what? He said, I got to call Rome. I said, you got to call the Vatican. He said, yeah. I didn't know this. He said, half the Catholic schools in America are still managed directly from the Vatican.
That's crazy.
Did y'all hear that?
I didn't know that.
Guess what else he told me?
What?
That the Roman Catholic Church is the second largest owner of real estate on the planet Earth. White man told me this. So he called me back. Rome said, we can't give you the school.
Right.
The Roman Catholic Church refused me to lease the school in money earning Mount Vernon, New York. In other words, the school could have been open years ago, but we kept on getting sabotage.
Is that because, do you feel because you are a Black man trying to purchase
Because
that?
I'm Dr. Umar.
Yeah, what he's trying to,
Remember something Napoleon Bonaparte said during the Haitian Revolution? When Napoleon said, we got to crush the Saint-Lô Overture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines, one of his subordinates said, Commander, why are you so interested in destroying the Haitians? Is it to prevent them from destroying our investment on the island? He said, nah. We must stop and crush the Haitian Revolution to forever prevent the march of Blacks forward into the world. The Haitian Revolution wasn't about the Haitian Revolution. It was about white supremacy. They can't let me succeed because they don't know how far I will go. You see that? When white people see a fire, they put it out. You feel me? Who is this Black man coming up here who can afford to pay this type? What Black man is thinking about opening up a school for Black boys independently? Now, you might do LeBron James, public school you just give some money to. You didn't buy, you didn't build it, you don't own it, you don't control it. Puffy, get you a charter school. Jalen Rose, get you a charter school. I'm not doing that. This is independent. We own it. Right? Then I went to Detroit, tried to buy a public school. They wouldn't show me none of the public schools in good shape. Chicago, couldn't get none of the public schools in good shape. That's when I realized there must be a national thing out.
Right.
He don't get no school. You feel me? We had the money and they still wouldn't sell them. So then finally, I come back from Benin, Togo, and Ghana, 2017. Remember the Great North American Eclipse, August 21st of 2017? Which is my birthday, Nat Turner Day, Haitian Revolution Day, George Jackson Revolution Day. I'm on LoopNet. I see the school in Wilmington, Delaware. So this school looked brand new. I go to it on my way down to Nat Turner, came back from Nat Turner, went to Cuba to get my initiation. When I came back from Cuba, I finally got into the schools. I walked around. I said, you know what? These schools are modern. They in good shape. Did my research, found out these schools only 10 years old, 2 of them. They wanted $2 million. We only had $500,000. But that was August and September of 17. We bought the school February of 19. So for 18 months, I stayed on them.
Right.
Can we get the school? Can we buy the school? Can we get the school? Buy the school? And then one day I said, can y'all sell it to us? He responded, give us what you got. I said, oh, I talked him down from 2 mils to
Right.
We got to school 2017. I'm happy, jumping for joy. Little did I know, the Black contractors was not going to do us any justice. Man. We got robbed. We got scammed, man, our own people.
Which is unfortunate, yeah.
Very unfortunate. Then one day, last September, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to use white folks. I waited 3 years to try to get my people. We got to school in 17. We got to school in 19. I saw it in 17. We got it in 19. This is 2023. right? So February of 19 to 20 to 21 to 22 to 23, 4 years. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It'll be 4.5 in August. I decided to call up a white man, HVAC. He had both units on the roof in 2 days. Crane truck and everything. We already bought the units. We had them custom made.
Right.
So they've been sitting for a year. Brand new. Sitting. Because all the black HVACs tell me they're going to come do it. Never did it. So I called a white man to do it. He gets the units up right before the festival. I start scratching my head like, damn. I'm waiting on brothers for 3. This white man did this in 2 days? So then I asked the white man, I said, you know any plumbers? He said, I got a plumber for you. Boom. You electrician? I got him. Boom. Security? Boom. Fire come? Boom, boom. Wednesday, I go to the school to get the final HVAC repairs done. HVAC is on. We got air. We got AC. You got to do some final stuff to get the inspection. Once that go through, we done. I got to call the city, find out what we got to do to get our certificate of occupancy because plumbing is repaired and inspected. HVAC repaired and inspected. Fire, security repaired and inspected. Everything. The only thing left is HVAC. And of course, we got to close up the holes and paint and do the floor. It's superficial, beautify. But all the systems, once we done HVAC, we done. The sad thing is, those white men did in 4 months, 3 months really, what black men couldn't help me do in 3 years. It's the self-hate. I'm not giving up on our people though, because when we go across the street to the Frederick Douglass High School, which is 4 times bigger, I still want to find some black contractors. I'm never giving up on my people.
Yeah, that's what
but I also have to face reality.
Right.
And the reality of the fact is we are so psychologically damaged that most of us find it almost impossible to do right by another black person. And these white folks, they don't even like me. Do you feel me?
Right.
They don't even like me.
But the money
But
talk.
they did the job and did it right.
Yeah.
It hurt. I'm like, damn. They just did it with no problem. Just came in, knocked it out, cheaper price and everything. If I would have just went with whites from the beginning, the school would have been done. But I couldn't do that because that's against what I stand for. So I had to try to use our people.
So with this being an independent school, does that mean you can implement your own curriculums?
Absolutely.
So what kind of curriculums are you plan on teaching at the school?
Well, you got to have math, science, language, and social studies. That's required.
Right.
And then on top of that, we're going to have agricultural and agronomical science, dietary, nutritional science. We're about to buy some farmland right now. We're also going to have political and military science. We will be teaching African martial arts, weapons training too. There will also be spiritual and astrological science. I practice Yoruba spirituality. We will teach it. The school will be a bona fide independent parochial academy. We must have a religious instruction there, spiritual instruction. There will also be dietary, nutritional, agricultural, agronomical, spiritual, and astrological, military and political, science of the black man, woman, and child.
Right.
So we're going to teach the boys how to be men, how to be gentlemen, also how to be men, how to be fathers, how to be leaders in the community. And then financial and economics, investing, real estate, stocks, all of that. We're going to have guest speakers every month for the boys from different industries. They're going to work on their own business plan. And when they graduate from the school, we're going to give them their grant for their first business.
That's dope, yeah.
That's
Well,
we
definitely get clapped up for that. Will there be? I noticed in China, they are actually teaching their boys. They have masculinity classes in a sense, right? Do you think there is a need to kind of have a masculinity course for our young black boys?
I don't know exactly what their masculinity course entails,
right?
But our science of the black man, woman, and child will likely cover that.
Okay, that's fair.
Because we believe in the divinity of the black man and the divinity of the black woman. So that's part of who.
Sure, we might need some classes for some grown adult men to be taught how to be a man.
I agree with that.
Like a college,
I don't know if it's a college or maybe some
grad school, something. I don't know.
Shit. We need some help.
We're going to have some stuff for the men too once we get the boys up and running. Because although FDMG is a school by day, it's a community university by night.
So this is an all-boys school, you see?
It's going to be all boys for the first 3 to 5 years. Then it's going to become girls.
Okay.
Boys and girls.
Got you.
I'm volunteering us anytime you ever need us to meet, even like speak or do something that you may need, something that you may not have time for, or something you think that we can fit to help.
Okay.
We're definitely going to be a part of it. Just, send the kite out.
I'm looking forward to it, not just for the blessing it'll be to our children, but also to the community. Because there's very few places that we have where we can meet unencumbered by other people. I speak more than any other scholar in the world, black, right? I'm the most requested black scholar on the planet for 13 years straight. I can count on one hand the amount of places I've been in the world that we own. Most of the time, we in something owned by Arabs, white people. They flicking the lights on, cutting the lights off. Right. I got to get out. You feel me?
Definitely.
Like, damn, we don't. Only place that we own is the black churches. But the black churches don't want you in there talking politics because they already in somebody's pocket downtown. You feel me? So the one place that has space and a microphone for us to organize and strategize, the black church don't want us in there to organize and strategize.
I want.
So with FDMG, we have enough space where we could do conferences and everything. And once we do the Frederick Douglass High School, which is across the street, once both schools are up, we are undisputedly the largest independent black school independent campus in the country, and the only independent black school with 2 buildings, 2 legitimate real schools, not no church, not no basement, not no home, real school. We're the only independent school in the country with 2 schools that's black, and we're the largest.
That's dope, man. Like, listen, before we get up out of here, because I understand you're a busy man, I do want to ask you one question. It's a short question.
Go ahead.
I seen that you posted a female rapper by the name of Sukihana, right? She has some choice words for you and her song. You know what I mean? What would you say to our good sister about that?
Sister Sukihana. I never heard of the queen before a supporter of mine sent me the video. You know, where she said, I'm not going to use her words, but where she said, if I wanted to spend some private time with a man, it'll be Dr. Umar. Right? And then at the end of the video, which wasn't on my Instagram, but it's on my Facebook and TikTok, she says, if Dr. Umar met me, he would shoot his shot because he would see that I'm a beautiful black African conscious queen. I could use some guidance. I got a little bit of daddy issues. She was very humble.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, indeed.
I didn't know she was from Wilmington, Delaware. That's where the school is, right?
Yeah.
I would be open to meeting with her, right? To see where her head is. Because first, it's always politics before Punani for me. So what can we do together to build the community? Now, obviously, her content isn't something I could endorse. But it seemed to me that if she's willing to follow my lead, that she might be ready to make a transition, right? From the raunchiness to the righteousness. And so maybe she'll take all her followers and bring them into a more conscious lifestyle. Maybe, I don't know. That would be a conversation that we would need to have though. But if she decided to turn the corner and leave that content alone for something that is more conscious and more positive for our daughters and sons, I would work with her. And I think we could do a whole lot together too. But she would have to turn that corner because I couldn't endorse the current message that she
Listen, if anybody could do it, you could do it. Like, again, appreciate you for pulling up. Again, let them know where they can follow you at.
TikTok and Instagram and Twitter at Dr. Umar Johnson. Facebook, Dr. Umar Ifatunde. TikTok, Prince of Pan-Africanism with a K. What else is out there? I think that's it, right? Facebook.
Your YouTube, right?
I don't have a YouTube.
Okay. You don't have a YouTube?
All those are fake pages.
Those are wow.
Okay.
Umar, before you go to, you gotta hit us with the I beg your pardon. We gotta hear it. Come on. We gotta hear it.
I beg your pardon.
Yo, appreciate you, man. Yo, and if y'all enjoyed the conversation, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Join the membership, man. There's a lot of behind the scenes you might get. You know what I mean? It's a great episode. Cop the merch as well. DillyGunCrew.co, man. Appreciate you.
So y'all ain't bring me no shirt.
Nah, we got you one. We got you one.
Yeah, we got you one, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? And we're going to have to send some to the school. Like, you know, we do all of that. You know?
No doubt.
So my people, this one was indeed an interesting one. So you guys can honestly leave on your own comment down in the comment section and also on your own opinion. And on you don't know say me dey upon a Black Unity program. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you're new. Big up to each and every one. Up until then, peace out. Adios.